Hi, Book Monster Mitch for channel check-in for April 24th of 2026, Friday, April 24th, 2026. Sorry for repeating the date, just I said it a little weird the first time. Anyway, moving on. Yes, I've been MIA for about 2 weeks now. This is my first video in 2 weeks, more or less. Not because I wanted to be missing in action. I'm so sorry about that. That might prove right there, and my voice might prove a little bit more why I haven't been making videos. Other than being about 5 in the evening right now, Louisiana, U.S. time. I'm getting over a cold, sinus infection, whatever it is, was, that's pretty much the only reason, or the biggest reason I haven't made videos in a little while. But other than that, I've tried my best to keep up with everything as much as I could, as much as my body and mental capacity and everything would allow. I haven't read much. I'm just getting back to where I feel up to and can read, so I am now at the very beginning of chapter 25 of Empire of Silence, more or less 30% in the book overall. Roughly 140 pages. Excuse me again. I'll do this video the best I can. So, sorry about that. So, yeah, Empire of Silence. Empire of Silence is going well, as well as it can right now. I also got back into over the last 2 or 3 days, Discovery by J.A.J. Minton, the Talking Story Family on YouTube, and shout out to them. It has been 3 years since they started their channel on YouTube, so go Talking Story. great channel, great family, mainly John and Jacob run it, father and son. Amy, wife and mother, pops in here and there. So if you haven't subscribed or checked out their channel yet, I highly recommend you do so. Just their banter back and forth, the way they, talk and communicate with each other is almost a laugh a minute. Sometimes I miss what they're actually saying in the video because I'm laughing at something or some antics John and Jacob have done within the video. So, yeah. Their videos are on average probably close to an hour long, 40 or 50 minutes, give or take, but it's well worth it. It doesn't feel like nearly an hour's gone by. It's like sitting with a couple of friends, joking back and forth with them, that type of feeling, atmosphere. So I definitely keep up with them. They typically upload videos on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Usually sometime in the morning. So by the time I get up and get moving on any given day, but especially Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, I check to see right away, did Talking Story upload a video? And usually the answer is yes. On Mondays, they typically do what they call weekly reader, I believe, and that's just going over what they've done previous week, previously, like what they read, what they are reading, shows and events they've watched and have coming up, that type of thing, like my channel check-ins every now and then. Right here, they do it every Monday, pretty much without fail. Wednesday and Fridays, it just depends on how the week falls and how everything goes. Today they did a TBR for May. That type of thing. So, again, highly recommend Talking Story. Recommend Mike's Book Reviews. That's another channel I follow from Houston, Texas. And anyway, enough about fellow YouTubers, although they're great, nothing against them. I root for all the channels I follow. Can't watch them all, unfortunately, but anyway. More about myself. Like I said, illness, cold, sinus infection had me down for the count for quite a bit. Pretty much from the time of the Saturday after Easter, so pretty much early on in April, because I believe Easter Sunday was the 8th of this month, so whatever the Saturday after that might have been, whatever date. Anyway, until just recently, maybe this week, I really started feeling better. I had a medical appointment yesterday to get checked out, so just that's the reason, like I have continued to say, that's the big reason I haven't been active on this channel, but I've followed and watched as many videos of fellow YouTubers that I could. Other than that, I covered a little reading that I've been doing. Also, I've watched a handful of movies and TV episodes. The movies and TV series I've kind of got into recently are Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, part of the Dark Knight trilogy starring Christian Bale as Bruce Wayne / Batman, directed by Christopher Nolan. I've yet to watch The Dark Knight Rises, really. Check out my last video if you want to know more about that. Those movies. I recently bought the 3 movies on Blu-ray. Like I said, check out my Dark Knight trilogy Blu-ray video if you want to hear more about that. Video game wise, I've been playing Spider-Man from 2018, Marvel Spider-Man from 2018, I believe, is the year that it came out. I've been playing that on my PS5, so much so that my hands have been cramping and, believe it or not, sweating a little bit from trying to do the combos, trying to hit the buttons and get the enemies before they get me type of thing. So, back to movies a little bit. I've also watched Terminator 2 Judgment Day on Paramount Plus. I have a previous video somewhere on the channel talking about some movie posters I received from somebody I know of the original Terminator movie from 1984, T2 Judgment Day from the early 90s, I believe 91 might be the year that came out. I have that poster on my back wall right here, above my couch, above my sofa here in the living room. Sorry, I would love to put it in frame. I just can't do it from this angle. So I've watched, like I said, Terminator 2, Judgment Day. I also had on last night Terminator Genesis, one of the newer Terminator or more recent Terminator movies. Believe it or not, I also had on recently a Charlie Brown cartoon. This can all be found on Paramount Plus, by the way. The two Terminator movies that I spoke of, and Bon Voyage, Charlie Brown, I believe, is the cartoon with the Peanuts gang characters that I had on recently, like I mentioned, on Paramount Plus. If you have a subscription or are able to watch that or have access to that, rather, go check out those movies and show, cartoon, whatever. On Netflix, I started Viking TV series, Viking. I'm only on season 1, episode 4 or 5. I'm not sure how many episodes per season, but I believe the entire series has 6 seasons altogether. So I have a little ways to go, quite a ways to go, rather. With that, if I'm only on season 1, episode 4 or 5, and after that, if I wish, I believe Netflix has a follow-up series to that. I believe it's called Viking Valhalla. I'm sure if you know Viking lore, you know the word I'm trying to say. So yeah, even though I haven't been making videos uploading videos. I've still been doing quite a bit of activity, which is good because I have more to talk about when I am able or up to making more videos. So let me know, what have you been up to? What have you watched, played video game wise? Please give me any tips or tricks with Spider-Man 2018, if you can, or if you've played that. I'm not very far into the game. I only have 25% of the entire game done, which is a very, very minuscule amount because the game is the Game of the Year edition, which has the original game when it was released and all the DLC content. So I have quite a ways to go, and it's nerve-wracking to say the very least, but fun at the same time. If you've played it, I'm sure you can agree. My brother loves Spider-Man, so that made him get a PlayStation 5 just to play all the Spider-Man games that are available. Spider-Man 2018, the follow-up Spider-Man 2, and Spider-Man Miles Morales, I believe, is another one. Sony owns the rights to any Spider-Man property, even though he's the character, at least in the movies, have joined forces with all the other MCU characters, but Sony still holds the rights primarily. So anything to do with Sony, be it movies, TV, or video games, especially video games, since PlayStation is a Sony device. It will be on PlayStation only, exclusively, so you know. But anyway, like I said, anything you wanna drop in comments, anything, any video ideas, any book recommendations, movie, TV, it doesn't matter. I'll respond to the comments when I can. Not if I can, but when I can. So I'll let you go here, and as always, have a good day, good evening. Take care of yourselves and each other. Love yourself and one another. And we'll talk again soon. Bye.